Sure. So Michael Galahi, I computer science, graduated December 2017.
Why did you choose computer science?
I didn't at first. I chose computer engineering. Did you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't choose computer science at first. I chose computer engineering because I just saw the two words together, computers and engineering, and I thought it would be cool. But once I came into Cal Poly, I took a hardware course. I took EE 112, and I really didn't like it. And so I quickly switched out into CS because I took some robotics courses, and at that point I was in 101, and I really enjoyed learning programming. So I switched out into CS winter quarter of my freshman year.
What do you think if it was switched? Like if you started off with hardware and ended up taking software at the beginning of your second year, do you think you would have still switched, or do you think you would have stayed because you were, I guess, a little bit deeper into the curriculum at that point?
I think I would have still switched because EE 112 was a really big hassle, and and I think some of the other hardware classes that I was looking into didn't seem super interesting, but the programming classes, as soon as I jumped in, they seemed really cool. Like robotics right off the bat, I learned a lot about programming, and I mean, at that point it was just for loops, if statements, while loops, things like that, but all the fundamentals, which were still at that point really fun. And then 101, more of the fundamentals, which were great. So I don't know, I think programming just in general was a much more interesting field for me. I kind of balanced between the two and recognized that I would only be using, realistically only be using one postgrad. So that's why I switched to CS.
Can you talk about maybe when you're coming into college, what kind of career you were looking for, and maybe how that changed throughout the 4+ years?
I wasn't really looking for a career when I came into college. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I think it changed throughout college through a perspective of seeing my passion for programming. I recognized that I wanted to be a software engineer, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. I still don't really know exactly what I want to do with software engineering or what field specifically, but a lot of it was motivated by the classes that I took and the interests that I took through the classes.
So I guess you would say the motivation to switch was you were being pulled out of it, not pushed, right? You're being pulled by computer science out of computer engineering, not pushed out of it because of some other issue.
Yeah, I don't think I was pushed out of it for any reason. I think I was pulled into computer science because of the passion I had there, and sort of pushed out of electrical engineering aspects of it because I recognized I had to choose one path or the other post-grad anyways. It's very rarely where you use both. So I just made the decision really early on, like, I don't want to continue with this. I'm not passionate about it, I'm not going to use it in the future, so.
Can you talk about like the aftermath of that switch? Like what was the process like for you? And
Seamless. It was really easy. It took like a day to switch, filled out a form online. Filled out a form in person, had an exit interview, and then I was able to switch very quickly. I mean, taking classes was about the same. It just set me back by 2 or 3 classes because at that point I had taken a couple of CPE specific or maths elective classes that didn't count towards anything in the CS curriculum. So
was it like, was the department welcoming? Did you feel like you were supported in that decision?
I think at first the department head was a little bit wary of me switching because I'd only taken one class and felt like I didn't give it a shot, which is fair. Like I really didn't immersify myself in the electrical engineering experience as much, or the electrical engineering side of computer engineering as much as I could have. But I still was able to find a passion in CS. And so through that, after that initial exit interview conversation, I think things turned out okay. I didn't really feel any tension with the professors.
So no regrets?
None at all.
Okay. So why do you think so many people do switch between the computing majors, and why do you think the trend is hardware to software?
I think people are switching because software is sexy now. Like if you look at the really big companies, those are the ones that are paying them, or software engineering companies are the ones that are paying the most and have the best perks. And so it just looks interesting from an external perspective, but also internally, you can work on better projects, or better projects is very subjective, but you can work on more, let's say dynamic and portable projects, because you can spin up your laptop and start coding, whereas for an electrical engineering, anything meaningful, you'd have to really sit down in a lab and make circuits together or do some sort of analysis that you can't really do just by opening up your laptop.
So you think accessibility, I guess, is a big...
Accessibility is a huge part of it, yeah.
And I think a lot of people talk about the learning curve. Like with the E, you need to take 2+ years of courses before you can really start doing things, whereas CS, the first class, you start doing something interesting.
That's true too. Yeah, the learning curve is huge in EE, and there's just a lot of introductory courses that feel very monotonous and tedious that you have to go through. Like EE 112, it just didn't seem like it was put in the right. Like if EE 112 wasn't there and we immediately went into courses that were interesting in EE, I think I might have stuck with it a little bit longer. But I still think I would have switched out eventually because of my passion.
Do you think the departments, I guess, are aware of this, or you think they're just kind of letting it happen?
I don't know. I think they're somewhat aware. I mean, you were talking about it, like potentially limiting EE 112. But in terms of awareness, I don't know. Can't really speak on that.
Do you think it's an issue within Cal Poly's specific curriculum, or do you think it's a trend that I guess the industry as a whole is moving towards, and that's, I guess, apparent across both, I guess, disciplines?
I think the industry in general is moving towards computer science specifically. Again, for the reasons that I listed earlier, but yeah, it seems to be a trend in different schools. Like different people that I talked to that started as computer engineering switched to CS in different schools as well. So.